Welcome back. It's 19 away from 9. Changes made to interest deductibility rules by the previous government have now been flipped. The government claims it will benefit both landlords and renters. Thanks to our partners at Property Apprentice, financial advisor Debbie Roberts joins us now to break it down. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Okay, so it's 80% this year, 100% next year, right? So just break it down. What's the changes?
So basically, it's just reinstating how things have always been for property investors. You know, property investment is a business activity. Landlords are treated as business owners. So, you know, it's in my opinion, it's only fair that they should have the same rules as any other business. So being able to deduct the interest as an expense on your mortgage, that certainly helps with the cash flow on a rental property, especially in the first few years. And that means that it's going to be easier for more landlords to provide rental properties, which are desperately needed in this country. We need more landlords, not less.
Do you think that this is going to entice people back into the market, into investing as a landlord?
Absolutely. You know, it's been pretty hard over the last few years to make the numbers work, especially with increasing interest rates as well as these extra taxes, because what it's meant is that properties that worked at a loss, so it cost more to own them than it did to, you weren't making profit, but you were paying tax on profit that you hadn't made under the previous rules. So this is a significant difference for property investors, and I think it's great news for tenants as well, because there'll be more rental properties available, which is going to slow down the increase in rents. I mean, market rents increased by 9.1% in the 12 months leading up to December 2023. That's huge. So yeah, we need more landlords.
I noticed you said, Debbie, slow down the increase in rents. So you're saying that you don't think rents will drop, but that potentially they would have grown at a faster rate.
Absolutely. So one of the things that is a common misconception is that landlords charge however much they need to charge to cover the costs. And the landlord's costs have got absolutely nothing to do with market rent. Market rent is determined by supply and demand, just like everything else. You know, if you look at the cost of fruit and vegetables, for example, after the extreme weather events that we had, the prices on fruit and veg went through the roof. It's exactly the same thing that we've seen in the rental market. When the tax deductibility was removed for interest, rents went through the roof because landlords couldn't afford to hold the property, so they sold. We've got a massive number of listings on the market at the moment, plenty of properties out there to purchase for home buyers as well as investors, and I think we are going to see a change in this area, which is going to give tenants more choice. And, prevent the, what have we got? We've got 25,000 people on the waiting list for emergency housing. The government, this is something else that I think is important to point out, the government at the moment spends about $1 million a day on emergency housing. Kaianga Ora is going to be spending about $1 billion in the next 12 months, upgrading the homes that they've got. That's all taxpayer money. You know, private landlords cost the taxpayer nothing. So,
Debbie, would the danger be, though, that if you get more investors, more landlords coming into the market, then you're going to shut out or you're going to put them in competition with people who are trying to buy their first home?
I mean, there's always a bit of an element of that, but at the moment, the first home buyers make up the largest market share of buyers, and that's great. So property investors that know what they're doing do not compete with first home buyers. We buy based on the numbers, so it's got to make sense as an investment, and emotional buyers like, first home buyers, and to be fair, a lot of mum and dad investors that don't understand how to run it as a business, they do tend to buy with emotion. So, we're trying to teach people how to run property investment like a business, providing good quality rental properties to make lives better for tenants as well and improve those relationships. But what I was saying about the expense and where the tax dollars go, if there's more property investors in New Zealand, that provides more housing for tenants, and that could free up some tax money to be spent in other important areas like, the police force, health, education, all those sort of things, because a private landlord costs the taxpayer nothing.
Thank you very much for your time this morning, and thanks to our partners at Property Apprentice. That was Debbie Roberts, Property Apprentice owner and financial advisor.